Can you beat the entirety of the Bloons TD6 DLC with just one tower? Find out here. That means through all 4 stages of Rogue Legends, every single Bloon encounter, mini-boss, mini-game, and the final boss, of course, must be beaten with one tower, and the same tower for every single tile. Here's the breakdown. We're gonna choose Churchill as the one tower slash hero, as well as the base Churchill skin, because his built-in artifact is Battlefield Commission. Basically, instead of gaining XP for the end of each round, they gain 1 XP for every Bloon they pop, which is perfect for this challenge. As he's the only tower, he will be getting 100% of all pops, and that means this artifact is hella value for it. And that's why I think a hero with this artifact is a much better choice than, say, a tower. As for the starting artifacts that we have with 18 power, here's what we got. Tit for Tat Legendary. All monkeys attack 66% faster at the expense of 25% faster balloon speed. I have Slow and Steady Common, 50% extra damage, however for the first 20 seconds of each round, that bonus is nullified. And Slower is Harder Rare, basically 20% extra damage. The reasoning for this 963 formation, I'll explain later, but additionally, XP Shop. This feature allows you to stack permanent buffs for future campaigns, so here's what I spent my approximately 70k lifetime XP on. Triple the amount of starting lives, a boost reroll discount of 20%, maxed out here XP. I actually don't know if this stacks with the artifact, but I'm just taking it to be safe. 25% extra starting cash on every single tile, double the chance of a rare artifact in the merchant, 8 free tokens to start off with that I can spend in the shop, 3% reduced final boss health, starting artifact power, which is why I was able to get 18 starting, as well as 2 legendary tiles that I could potentially run into starting stage 2 and beyond. Now that you get the gist, begin the run. And because we have the ability to, I'm going to keep re-rolling my stage 1 until I get a favorable one. Basically, a favorable stage 1 depends on the starting final boss, Bloonaires, which is, I think, fine for Churchill. But more importantly, the path I want to take, which is normally going to be the shortest path, and I actually kind of want to avoid mini-bosses. Churchill is actually very weak at getting high scores for these early. So I'm going to keep re-rolling here until, again, I find one that I'm satisfied with. I think I'm pretty happy with this one. We have Dread Bloon to start off with, which is actually one of the hardest bosses, so it's good to get it out of the way. But the shortest path here right now takes us through absolutely 0 mini-bosses and also basically free artifacts. We don't have to play a mini-game or anything like that to get it started. So the reason I did a 963 formation at the very beginning is because at the very first starting campfire, I am going to enhance the one artifact that I have in common. Because if I did a 666 instead, then I would not be able to do any of these, and the thing is, because I'm only using one monkey, this is useless, and so is this. So essentially at every campfire, we only have the choice to enhance or heal. And sometimes you can't heal, so this is our only option. And now with that artifact, my penalty is much less at the start of each round. And as you see with this Battlefield Commission artifact, we basically get 2 levels before the first round's even done. That's why this artifact is so good when you're doing a 1-tower solo. Now, before any rogue enthusiasts bring it up, you might be thinking why I am not starting with the 1 monkey army artifact. This was an artifact I showcased not long ago, which basically makes your hero the biggest thing on the field by far, because double damage to bosses as well as every monkey or every category also counting as a hero, which makes it so that the artifacts you get throughout the run stack like crazy. However, the main reason I'm not using it is because I haven't been able to extract it. To extract an artifact, you have to find it in a run and also remove it from your run. So sadly, I gotta work with what I got despite being a disadvantage, because now that means there's a lot of artifacts in this game that do not apply to heroes. And I'm gonna tell you right now, all 8 artifacts in the shop have no benefit for me. And that now means our snowball effect is going to be much harder, and so beating the bosses of the final stages is going to be pretty tough. But I'm determined to get through it, because I think it's possible even without. I will also admit here that technically taking a longer route for the first stages is probably better, just so you have a higher chance to accrue things that will help your run. We technically don't need to speedrun these first few stages, but once again, since there are a lot of artifacts that just do not affect Churchill at all, I suppose I don't want to waste my time just for the slightly higher chance of getting a good artifact, if you know what I mean. Nothing to really see here for the first couple encounters, they will be easy. Our first chest gives us apparently actually one artifact that can help. Heroes and primary monkeys deal 50% extra damage to glued balloons. Now, because Churchill is the only tower slash hero allowed, then the only way I can glue a balloon is with the glue trap power. So incredibly niche, but I will take that over the 90% artifacts that do nothing at all to him. The second chest of our run also gives us pretty useless stuff. This artifact isn't limited to any category, but sadly, Churchill does not set balloons on fire. Don't think there's ever an artifact that does that, but we'll pick it up just in the off chance there might be. Personally, I like the shops a lot more than chests because even though they cost tokens, there are at least 8 options to choose from. So surely something over here helps, and I think I found something that helps. Starting strong common. At the first 20 seconds of each round, monkeys attack 12% faster, which, remember, compared with my slow and steady, that cancels out. So that, I guess, keeps things really consistent. Definitely worth it. There's also Quantum Leap over here. However, I think from testing, this absolutely nerfs Churchill, so no bueno. But hey, any artifact that helps us is huge. And now for Stage 1 Dread Balloon, we got a pretty easy map in Candy Falls. The 25% starting cash boost is amazing, especially in final bosses, because take a look at the starting, 26k. Without that bonus from the XP shop, that number would be closer to 21,000. So that extra 5,000 can be used to simply buy a ton of Churchill levels. We can get up to level 7 and level 8 soon. We've only just started off, but damn, Churchill is blasting through this Ram Shield here, which actually might be a bad thing because I just realized that technically if you leave Churchill, say, in the back of the track, that'll give you more time to level him up because he'll pop more balloons before it gets to Dread Balloon. If you pop this too fast, then there's a chance that Churchill might not be a high enough level that we can't actually beat the rock balloons that come out. So because of that, I'm just simply not using the level 3 ability because that would make, you know, Dread Balloon pop down a little bit faster. We'll try to stall as long as possible despite the non-optimal spot. But that's why we have 5 lives, because if the placement's wrong, we can just simply restart. And not too many consequences. So here we go. And now that we hit each skull here, we have the ability to choose a temp boost. Now, these temp boosts also have the same issue as, like, artifacts. None of these 3 will work on it because we don't have the 1 monkey army. So I actually have to keep re-rolling until I get a power, like a time stop, which, sure, I'm going to take, in case the next re-rolls are, like, nothing better than that. Use level 3 ability now for the rock balloons to see if Churchill can handle them, and it looks like we can, because I'm not seeing any rock balloons get through Dread Balloon here. And that's why I was saying having Stage 1 be Dread Balloon is the best case Ontario, because once you get to Stage 2 and 3 bosses, those rock balloons will start to turn into elite Dread Balloons, like rock balloons. And I know for a fact that'll not be a fun time. Second skull, let's pick another temp boost. We have a tech bot, which is obviously, I mean, I literally have 1 tower. How lazy am I to pick that? Now, some of you might allow Battle Cat, some of you might not, because it is a power and not a tower. But for the purposes of this challenge here, I'm gonna count it as a tower, because it can last, like, infinity, kind of. And we're gonna keep re-rolling until I find something good. And hey, there's that glue trap I was talking about earlier. Let's get it, and it does seem like, sadly, rock balloons are getting to the lane too, but they are damaged enough that we are good. We now have level 10 Churchill, which is a huge boost. Insane amounts of damage on 1 target. That's enough to get, wow, half of the last support shield off of Churchill or Dread Balloon. We're gonna keep re-rolling until, again, we find not another glue trap. I should also mention, thanks to the XP shop, this is now 240 instead of 300, and I'll save a lot of money in the long run. This is the only boost that affects Churchill. All Tower Quickening does apply to heroes, so now we get 4% ability cooldown speed and attack speed, which is massive. Not the only thing that is massive. I'm talking about Churchill's tank, by the way. Like, that is one beefy boy over there. And just like that, Stage 1 is complete. Now, I regret to inform you that Essence of Dread Balloon does not apply to heroes. This second part does, extra damage to fortified and cerams, but the all monkeys count as all categories from testing excludes heroes, so I guess that confirms it. Heroes are not monkeys. Monkey hero segregation in 2025, how sad. Short Path also looks pretty good on Stage 2 here. We got a lot of chests, and thanks to the XP shop, look at that. Legendary encounter over here. And our Stage 2 boss is Blastopoopulus. A pretty bad boss for Churchill, not gonna lie, but I'm happy it's Stage 2 and not 4. And actually, look, Our starting campfire is sparkling, which means this can either heal you to full lives if you're down to 1, for example, but we're at full, so the only thing we can do is enhance. But because it's legendary, we can now study like rare artifacts to legendary. And I don't think this is even a question, but by far the best possible upgrade is this one. Battlefield Commission goes from 1 XP for each Bloon Pop to 2. And I already was talking to you guys about how good the rare was, or how good 1 XP was. So now having double that halves the amount of time it takes for Churchill to get to level 20. Not just level 20, but any level, really. Our first chest here gives us only 1 artifact that can possibly help. Heroes do 2x damage to trance and stun balloons, but Churchill has no CC of his own. Therefore, it's useless, but I'll still take it regardless. With just like the 5 artifacts we have right now, we currently have 70% bonus damage on Churchill, as well as 67% attack speed. Just a small nerf down to 45% at the first 20 seconds of each round. Pretty good, eh? And oh, looks like we ran into the bug again, where the monkey automatically skips our chest tile. I love bugs. And wait a minute, oh no, this encounter is, I think, the worst case we could have possibly gotten. It's all camos, but with the starting cash, like, I am still 1.3k off of allowing Churchill to pop camo, so even with the starting lives, there is no shot I can survive this round. And that's why it's so crucial that we have lives, so that we can skip tiles when they're actually impossible. It's rare, but it does happen, depending on if we're unlucky. And indeed we are. How about a chest to help us out? This one buffs Churchill. Now we can bounce off map borders and also have 20% extra projectile lifespan. Pretty good artifact for just a common, I gotta say. And now for this legendary tile, we gotta hope it's an easy one, and thankfully it is. Cubism. And now we only have 2 artifacts to pick from, but luckily one of the 2 is actually amazing. Spirit of Adventure Legendary gives us 80% underground XP and 10% hero attack speed. Now, because of the Battlefield Commission, we technically don't get underground XP, so 0 times 1.8 is 0. But it's a free 10% attack speed, which isn't a whole lot, but it helps. So combined with Tit for Tat, we are now currently at 1.83x attack speed. Surprise Camo Attack gives us the downstream here. Now, if we run into the same issue, though, in that I can't buy level 6 immediately, then GG. But, wow. We just scraped by this time. Thank you, starting cash artifacts. We technically don't need to play minigames, but I'll do it just for the long haul. Plus, racers are actually really good for Churchill, and I'll show you why. Although Bazaar might be a rough map for it. Yeah, Bazaar is really bad because of multi-lane, so I actually don't think I'll be able to make this, even... Actually, what is the bronze goal? 9:30? Do I really want to take that long? I don't think I do, so I will send a couple rounds out at a time. If I want to play it safe early game, I would just send 1 at a time so only 1's active, but right now it seems handleable. Churchill's damage attack speed is so good that 3 rounds at once is good. How about 4 at once? Can he handle 5 at once? I know I certainly cannot. Looks like he can still handle 5 rounds. And hey, look, we got a glue trap actually. That's actually really good. So glue trap should pay big dividends here. And it seems like I've been setting way too conservatively because we're doing good. Not here though. Oh no, it's over. Or not, remember? I have 450 lives, so no, we're done. Oh, we actually could have done it if I wasn't so greedy. That's my bad. I should have waited for level 10 Churchill so that I can nuke out the F mobs, because yeah, sending the F mobs that early was killer. Could spend a life, but no, I feel lives are way more important to save for encounters that I need to skip, because the maps will get tougher the later stages we go through. And with the conclusion of that tile, take a look and see if we have anything juicy. Quick broad search shows us that nope, none of these work well for Churchill. So moving on to Blastopolis Stage 2 on middle of the road, pretty easy map. Now the reason Blastopolis is so scary for Churchill is due to what happens at each skull that Blastopolis hits. I'll let the game do the talking once the first skull hits. For now, Churchill's damage on Blastopolis is insane, even just at level 8. We'll let hit the first skull now, and take a look at this over here. Throws a fireball, which will stun him for 5 seconds, but worst of all, The line of sight blocking for the rocks here could prove to be really bad because sometimes the hitboxes of the rocks make it so that it blocks Churchill's entire line of sight, and look, it's doing exactly that. In other words, yes, Blast Papas basically incapacitates Churchill. Now, we could maybe try to get lucky and reroll for a glue trap, but it's probably pretty rare to find. Actually, Super Storm has been found. Plus, it also does boss damage, so check this out. He's basically almost at the next skull, just like that. Eventually, the rocks will go away, though, after a certain amount of time. And, oh, bad news. I think I'm dead there. Oh, wow. Churchill sniped that. Nice. Rocks are gone, though. Bad news. Rocks are back. Let's see how the angles are now. Luckily, not on top of Churchill, so we're good. It seems like you should be able to see the left side, but the rod hitbox is really janky. And that's why this is spooky. Again, let's keep re-rolling. I'll take a Super Monkey Storm as well. Hitting level 10 will also be really crucial, because then I'm not reliant on Churchill's like main attacks to actually damage Blast Papas. I can, say, use this ability from long range when Churchill's not in range, and then the rocks will never hit him. And I'm trying to keep re-rolling. I think I'll just do 10% damage. It's a pretty good power-up. Seems like we're running into the same issue where Churchill just cannot attack. Thankfully, the balloons are really slow, so we're good. And we got level 10. So I'll probably use it once Churchill can stop attacking here. Here, I would say is good time. Rocks will definitely not land anywhere close, yeah. We should be safe now. And somehow Churchill has hit level 14, level 15 in fact. Which now increases his mold barrage damage, which means each skull now pretty much gets us almost to the whole skull. And all he needs is one swipe of Blast Papas with a main attack to reach the skull there. Actually correct. Now we wait for the rocks to go away again. Use level 3 ability. And take a look how quickly Blast Papas is getting taken down. Almost 400 damage per second from Churchill here. Last skull. Rocks are not on top, which means Super Monkey Storm ends it. And that might just have been two of the hardest bosses against Churchill done in the first two stages. And because we have Battlefield Commission Legendary, which makes it more likely to get level 20 Churchill, that means this helps too. Burning balloons, and so every balloon now takes 4 extra damage from Churchill himself. Definitely an artifact that we're going to keep for the rest of the run here. Stage 3 gives us balloon areas, which I think should be handleable. The shortest path through the stage looks like it's pretty chill as well. We also get a free legendary at the end of this tile. I think I'll take a risk here and not use my heal. Maybe hope I only use 1 life on the next bit to the next tile. But if we have the ability to enhance an artifact and make Churchill stronger, we do so. And I think I'll pick a starter round boost. From 12% to 18% faster. Let's get it. The first 2 encounters of this stage were pretty chill, even, yes, despite having Spillway as a map. Churchill's so good he can solo Spillway, even without being able to put him on the barrel. Amazing. And now the merchant here, it seems, judging from the icons of each artifact, this one. Heroic Edge Common. Heroes now can spawn swords after each projectile expiring, as well as all monkeys having 10% pierce. I gotta say, absolutely go to artifact for it being just a common. Not it just providing 1 buff, but like 2 sizable buffs. There's gonna be a lot of swords coming out with the attacks we have for Churchill. I also technically can play this one, but I actually just want to heal. Back up to full, and we got 2 stages to... Oh. This is probably skip-worthy, because not only do we have to beat Ravine, but double HP. Chuckles, I'm in danger. I feel like odd rounds are pretty fine, but these even rounds have no straight lines for Churchill, so... If you can't be a mob here, screwed, but luckily you can. But not without much stress, though. That's getting much far from my liking. After 17, we'll definitely make sure to pick an in-game boost that could help. Glue Trap, I think it's gonna help huge. Plop down even rounds if I need to, or even this round maybe. Ooh, that FMO got really far. I'll tank that those lives. There's only 2 more even rounds left, so that Glue Trap should last through both of them, because they have high pierce. Here comes an FMOAB. I do have level 10 Churchill, which I'll definitely use this round. Level 10. These balloons are not glued, so get them first. Nice. The end. And now tell me that this is not a great sign. If we can beat Ravine with double HP, then I think we're capable of anything. And now going from that map to this map makes this map feel like logs. And now it looks like in terms of the legendaries we have, none of these affected at all. We definitely don't want to set our lives from 450 to 9. That's a big-ass nerf, so we'll just pick something random, or the other two. Last encounter, very easy. And oh my god, we can get level 20 now. Final chest of the stage gives us use to stuff. Actually, ability stacking is pretty good, even though ability cooldowns are 20% slower. If we don't use the ability immediately, which normally we don't with Churchill, then this is probably pretty good. We also don't have to activate level 10 off cooldown either. I suppose that's a decent pickup then. There's also one artifact here that does affect Churchill, but it's really bad. You do not want a Churchill with increased shot spread, even though it has attack speed. Trust me, BB Gatling kills the Churchill. We'll take a Mighty Mulligan here. It's a nice general artifact that isn't tied to a hero, but can give us extra chance to get an artifact that we want. Stage 3's final boss is Bloon Ares Prime, which is actually kind of scary. Especially if balloons try to spawn the Prime rounds, and actually, wait, it's reverse. Does this affect us in any way? Actually, I don't think it really does. I think the strategy would still play the same, and that is I would put Churchill over here. Maybe I'll lean it a little bit more because the boss will now spawn, like, from that side, so sure. I think this gets pretty decent angles, and ideally, we like to get level 10 as quickly as possible, so we can start doing damage to Elite Ballooners early. If I wait too long here, we'll miss a golden opportunity where we can beat Bloon Ares' insides. Right now at level 10, his Mold Barrage is very weak. Now, if you didn't know, this is the map made for Bloon Ares, and so there's a secret path that he takes. That is actually a much longer than what the track looks like, so don't be too alarmed here. You can actually kind of see it from Bloon Ares' spawns there. His gunk of pinks actually goes over the rocks here, so it's a bit of a spoiler if you didn't know about that on this map here. But very nice. We got to a level 15 Churchill before he even starts attacking with his auto attack. And now there's the first skull. He spawns out, it seems like, only one Moab between each skull there, which is actually way worse than I thought. Okay, we'll take that. Level 17 now, which means one barrage gets us one whole skull. That's disgusting. We should have this in the bag, seeing as his Bloon Ares' insides are very weak. And there's level 20, so now plus 4 damage on every attack. We'll use the Mold Barrage now, and that will now chunk over one skull of Bloon Ares. 1.5 every cooldown. Oh crap, we leaked a whole ceramic. I don't know how, but that wasn't ideal, and that's scary. Should probably take these next rounds slow. Actually, I should use these in-game boosts because I have not been using them. Glue Trap would be really nice. I think other things that would be nice is probably Sewer Monkey Storm. I'll also take another Glue Trap. I think I'll put one right here, so we get it before it exits. How about more boosts here? Like damage is good. How about another one? Range, also good. Another one. Monkey boost, amazing, amazing. I kind of want to use that now, not gonna lie. But I'll be patient in case there's a really hard round that level 20 Churchill cannot beat, but no, I think this is it. Yep, this ability here should wipe out the entire skull, so let's just use this now and get it over with. But again, thank goodness for destroying lives, otherwise we actually would have lost. The Essence of Bloon Ares is really useless because it's not a hero. That's tier 3 or lower, of course, so I wonder if I use my Money Mulligan, does it change the artifact here? It does not, so I just wasted. I just wasted my Money Mulligan, great. Whatever, I'll take this and then exchange it at the shop, I suppose. And now the final stage to complete the one hero challenge. We have Elite Vortex. Trust me, that's a really good boss to have for your last one. Which artifact do I want enhanced? There's actually a lot of options to choose from. Overall, I think I like Heroic Edge Rare the most. Now it's double damage on every sword that comes out, as well as extra Pierce. I don't think Pierce is actually going to be an issue with Churchill at all, but I like swords having more damage, alright? And now it appears the hardest part of these encounters now is probably the first round, where Churchill only starts at level 7. He accelerates levels really quickly now that the rounds start later, and so there's way more balloons on the first rounds, but yeah. At this stage, it's probably our safest bet, even though we clearly know Churchill is capable, to just skip encounters, and then heal lives wherever possible. And because of that, even though the middle path here is only one bonus encounter and has, look at this, 2 Sparking Legendaries, I'm instead gonna take the other path, because it has a campfire, and 1 less encounter to go through. Those are the games we're playing. None of these artifacts do anything at all, so we'll pick the random one. There's only 2 encounters before the campfire, so we're definitely just gonna skip these 2 here. If this is a race, I'll play it just to show you guys how fun it is. And great, it is indeed a race. If you thought Churchill leveled up really quickly in the first race that I failed on, well, take a look now. I think I'm so bold I'll start with 4 rounds right now. But right now, starting on last, and his cannon just goes hard. And that's a crazy amount of swords that's coming out. What makes Churchill so OP in races is that, well, as you see, every pop, and because we're sending so many rounds at once, we're getting a billion pops at the same time. That's why, within 30 seconds, we have leveled Churchill 10 times. 11. You know what? 37 now. We can do it. Because we're gonna get level 20, which is basically a GG now, isn't it? Wanna watch me absolutely destroy this 250 goal. DDTs are the only issue because I need, I believe, level 3 ability for it to work on DDT. So use it now. And hopefully the level 3 ability lasts long enough. We'll make sure the target's strong. I probably should have saved my level 10 ability for those, but I got really antsy. Anyway, we blasted through the 250 goal. Easy peasy. And I don't even care that none of these really help us at all. Just play that tall for you for a flex, really, rather than for the rewards. I'll show you the mini-boss also for fun. The goal is 49 kills. I think if we get level 20 Churchill up, he will destroy 49. And without even pressing the temporary boost too. This is not the same as a race, because the rounds don't start at ceramics at this stage. It's still weak, you know, reds, yellows, blues, and all that. So we actually might not reach 49. Bloons is already 1/3 of the way through, and we only hit 16 kills. Might need to employ these temp boosts, actually. Yeah. Maybe some all-tower damage, if I can find that. Seems like I'm not really getting lucky, though, am I? Well, there we are. We got 1. The key, though, is unlocking the Mob Barrage. We got it now, so maybe there's a chance. Blast it. Each Mob Barrage gets us about 2.5 kills. Not bad. But nope, it seems like Rare is about as good as I can do here. Not a bad thing by any means, especially for a single tower. But Churchill's strength is definitely in racing, rather than in the mini-boss. And probably for the better we didn't go for Legendary, because if we got these 3 again but Legendary, well, we would have ended up getting nothing. And the shop here gives us one very interesting artifact, Bouncing Projectiles Rare. It's different from added preservatives because it now says it bounces off of blocking objects, not map borders like the preservative does. There's a difference between that. Basically, if you combine this and added preservatives, now it bounces off of any border, wall and or blocking. Oh, this is the one map that I actually think is impossible for Churchill. At this point, he has so much damage that the only thing that can beat him is lanes with, like, walls between them. So, I don't think on this map, he has the range to be able to reach all 4 lanes. Definitely not with blockers here. I don't think this is how it works, but hopefully we got the Dark Dungeons map out of the way and that it's no longer going to be the final boss, because if this is the final boss, then we're done. We can't win and we can't re-roll the map. This is definitely a skip, though. I believe that to be the only map where Churchill has 0% chance of beating. And now we finish where we start, with Polyphemus as the lasting balloon encounter. And now the final merchant of the shop has several legendaries that do not help us in any way, and no artifacts in general that help the hero. So instead, I think I'll just, like, squeeze out some extra rogue XP for my ARP campaign, because we have the ability to. Just blow all our tokens and ever use this artifact that doesn't affect Churchill. Also, interesting tidbit, Pop's Fire is actually something worth keeping now that we have Blast Populus, so Churchill actually does burn balloons. I knew there was an artifact that did that. And, oh boy. Not Dark Dungeon, so I think we're good, but an extra map is definitely not what you want to see. So I think first I'm going to try to play for defending the balloons here. Him on a straight line should be good, and I'm hoping this is far enough away, or rather he has enough range that he can damage Vortex and not get stunned from this angle. And if we have to redo it, we do have 4 lives to work with, so keep that in mind. 109k HP for the final boss here. It literally all ends with this. We also have Mob Barrage coming in just a couple hundred pops here. So if I get that soon, that'd be really nice. And no, this is not good. Oh, he moves so fast. Vortex is slippy. And right, because this is a multi-lane map, the other three lanes, like, continue to keep the speed bonus until Vortex is over here, so I'm not actually sure. We can't put Churchill on the ledge. The only thing I think I can do is try to play to defend the BFB, so maybe remove this tree here and set to Strong. Actually, not Strong, but Last, because Strong will right now target Vortex coming in. So Last, come on. Level 3 ability now. Come on, hit the BFB for me. Pop earlier. And get the insides. Nice. That was huge, but this is still bad, because right now if I pop Vortex, he will stun Churchill. So I have to wait to pop it when it's well out of range, but I'm scared if that's going to be enough time. I think now we'll be safe from a stun, so let's blow the barrage. Bad news, Churchill does not have the damage for Vortex here. So we might very well just be cooked. Yeah. I can't go back if I do this, but you know what I think I gotta do? I think this artifact is currently nerfing me. Ability stacking. I don't think I need stacking. I need the level 10 ability to come faster. So if I get rid of the 20% cooldown nerf, then there's a good chance I can actually get 2 Churchill level 10s, which get me the first skull. So we also cannot remove the trees so that we can unlock level 10 faster. The goal is 2. Why I didn't do small bosses, by the way, is completely beyond me, but that's a good idea, so I can see what's leaking. Anyway, just so I survive the FBFB, I think I need to keep the level 3 ability. Can't use it immediately. I need to wait. Barrage is going to come back up. Perfect timing. Come on, get to the skull. Just enough barrages there, Jesus Christ. Now, we gotta just pray that we got a good boost here. Either an all tower buff or... Oh, thank the heavens, because we got a monkey boost. And I think I gotta use it immediately. No time to waste. Go, 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 go. Churchill already isn't gonna get stunned from this first Vortex knockback, so we gotta get the next one as soon as we can. And come on. Don't lose range here. Come on, Swords. It's so close to getting to the skull. Oh, come on. Dude, that's 1 HP. 4 HP. There we go. Wow, that was awful. Discount Village would auto-win the run, but I can't do it. Another good one. Super Monkey Storm. This is... it's only a 3,000 damage burst, I think, but... Like, 3,000 damage is better than nothing, obviously. Anyway. Churchill is a Giga Chad level now, 16, so it should get easy from here. As bad as that first skull was, his damage ramps up like crazy. Again, I told you, it was always the first round. There's Super Monkey Storm. See? Third skull already. New boost. Oh. Yep, these powers are just what you need. A time stop, I think, makes the balloons travel 10% speed, while the hero is 30%. I don't know if the ability cooldowns change, but it's huge. That's all I gotta say. Thing is, don't use time stop now. Again, only use it when it looks like Vortex is gonna get out of range. Like now, I guess. Sure. And I'm looking at the ability cooldowns, and it seems like it's the same. So, yeah, it's a huge bonus. Time stop really, really benefits abilities like crazy. And now full speed looks like a nightmare again, but it's okay. Level 20 Churchill has been afforded. And this... Oh. I can't risk those cerams leaking. Here's an interesting idea. How about Super Monkey Storm first? And take a look at this. I wait till level 17 to use the ability, because then the mob damage, the mob barrage damage is up. But for some reason, I don't know why Churchill can't hit the fortified leads. Like, it's on first. Oh, it's a shield. Vortex's 6-second shield, I think, blocks the thing from hitting. That's annoying. I was like, wait, what? How does Churchill not hit leads? That's so stupid. But it all makes sense. Anyway, I think we don't hit the skull yet until we beat 29. So that means don't use time stop, if I'm even able to get away without that. Let's see. So here, watch this, watch this. Let's take a boost here. I think I'll probably use my time stop here because those F mobs are definitely going to go through. Glue Trap is goated, but this is a... Oh, no, nope. I swear to God, each skull of Vortex right now is like a puzzle. Because each skull is different, so there's a different solution for every single one. Anyway, we gotta quickly drop that time stop. There we go. Now we don't lose, and sure. Glue Trap early. We'll put it back here. I think that should be good. And now, don't damage Vortex right now, because it will stun. Don't use any ability. Wait for Vortex to be all the way up here if we can let him do that, and I think we can. Perfect, perfect, perfect. In fact, I think at this point, I can just not use any ability, and it'll perfectly bounce back to there. Just don't touch it at all, and it'll be exactly where it was. The damage is perfect. That's great. And, oh god. Don't die. I think I actually have to use a level 3 ability, just for the BFB coming in. Last starting. Oh. Oh, and look, Monkey Boost, Monkey Boost. Let's use it immediately, so we don't die. There we go. Now, using Monkey Boost now means I do too much damage to Vortex, I think, so maybe that's not a good thing. Yeah, hang on, I'm cooked. No, I'm not cooked. Watch this, watch this. Level 10 now? Nope, that's bad. That's stupid. Okay, how about this? Set this to last so we target BFB first, and that also takes longer for Vortex to get stunned. We'll use level 3 ability now as well. And that... Elite. Well, all the effort down the drain. Alright, so very, very painfully, I made my way back to where I left off at. This time, I just was a bit smarter and saved my other powers that I used, like Super Monkey Storm, for this part here, or Time Stop. Alright, so Sura, it was this part over here, this part over here. I think the timing of what comes out is different, so... Oh, no mobs this time. I think we stalled out, or we took longer to beat 31. This is good. In fact, I might just be keeping these two here just for cosmetic reasons. Let's just make sure we beat the ZUMG here. We have the Pierce for it, right? Yep, good. Once we get the last go, we can blow everything. Use Churchill level 3 when it's out of range, so I think now is good. It definitely won't get stunned here. And this is for the end, finally. Finally. Alright, Monkey Boost now. Level 10 Churchill. Super Monkey Storm. End this. Oh boy, what a disgusting final boss. Dark Castle actually might have been one of the hardest ones, just due to the map length. With the speed of Vortex, like, there is no time. Either way, that was exhilarating, down to our last freaking life. I hated every single second of that, but GG. The campaign has been complete. And these are our final stats. As you see, that last boss took absolute eons to break through. But there's the proof in the pudding. You can indeed beat Rogue Legends with just a single tower/hero. And very easily, in fact, if you get the RNG in your favor, which it was not for me for the last stage. Thanks for making it to the end, and if you have any other interesting ideas for Legends that you think I could cover, then let me know. Always looking for more fun things to do.